the damage before it's destroyed, but then decides not to target that. He's just going to go for the Spirit Lodge, which has already been damaged. Peon's closing in to repair that. Again, I don't think Todd's going to be able to make that. He's Stormbolted one of the Peons to try to prevent repair, but there's too many Peons repairing that. He's not going to be able to take that down. And of course, Yang has returned here. So Orcs just positioning themselves. Todd's going for that Witch Doctor. Very nice snipe there. He's hit it with a Stormbolt. Will he be able to take it out? He's got an Archmage and a Water Elemental, and yes, he has taken it. So he's sniping another one, just taking on these expensive Orc units and sacrificing the Footman. Pretty decent trade, and he's going to lose that Water Elemental as well. But now it's time to back out because he knows that the Orcs are too much from the Tri-Hero, Kodo Beast, all of those Berserkers. Just a bit too much when all they've got is Footman. And oh, nice Hex. The Mountain King's been hexed. Unfortunately for Yang, that's not going to kill him. Oh, Todd hits his own Mountain King in the face. What a traitorous move there by the Archmage. But of course, as we all know, the reason why he's done that is to deny his opponent the experience. If he takes out the hero himself, that means that Yang does not get the experience for the kill. And that's why Todd did it. And you can see that Todd's gone for Griffins, just securing his 4 o'clock expansion there, while Yang takes the 1 o'clock. Losing his Kodo Beast to Creeps, that was a bit sloppy. Circlet of Nobility there for the Tauren Chieftain to pick up, as well as a Manual of Health. Quite handy. A few extra hit points on that TC, the Tauren Chieftain. Looks like Todd's gearing up to creep this camp. Mercenary, not so much a mercenary camp, a creep camp with the Goblin Magic Shop. So that'll give him a little bit more experience there, and possibly picking up some scrolls or some potions at the shop. Throwing down the Dust of Appearance just in case the Blade Master's nearby, so it's always worth doing that against the Blade Master. Note too that Todd now has reached level 4 with his Archmage, so he's got some decent value out of his Archmage now with the Aura and his Water Elementals. Looks like the Mountain King sold a fairly hefty item, but here comes Yang. He's got a powerful force. He's got the Blade Master with the Lightning Orb as well, so Todd having to pull out of there. He's not really got the equipment and the forces that he needs to deal with Yang's formidable army at this stage, Tri-Hero with a lot of ranged units and casters to boot. But as you can see, Todd definitely has economic advantage here. He's just putting up a 3rd Griffin Aviary now, and as you can see from the blacksmith, upgrading probably Griffin armor. Shares with the Rifleman and Mortar armor teams, Mortar team armor, and Todd going for this camp here. I think this is a very good choice for creeping. He can take out this Ogre Lord here. That'll be a really good way to go. He'll have a great arm there, and it'll give us his MK a lot of experience. But here comes the Blade Master, and he needs to take out that Ogre before the Blade Master can, and that Stormbolt really did it. Very nice move there by Todd, and he's picked himself a Horn of the Unholy Legion, or whatever you call it, item, giving his whole army that undead Death Knight aura, which is fantastic. Unfortunately, he's been hexed now, and not being able to take out that Blade Master either because he's really out of troops, and of course his Creepjack is really going to get the better of him in the long run. It's just very good that he's managed to get that item. So now Todd will have an opportunity to retreat. He's going to need to take that opportunity before his Mountain King takes it in the face, and the Mountain King getting very low in health. Looks like the Archmage has dropped off an invulnerability potion on the Mountain King to prevent him from dying while the teleport is activated. But Todd does get out of there, and Todd's playing very well. He's not making very many mistakes. And Todd, being such an experienced player, I really love watching this play because you can always rely on him to play very, very well. He's just such a by-the-book human player, and really has just learnt over the years what the optimal way to play humans is, and he just does it. And that's the real joy of him. It's just watching very complete Warcraft here. And Taurens getting ready to be added to Yang's army. I think Todd's in a very comfortable position. He's going to use his 3 bases to fund the mass Griffin strategy here, and he's going to have very, very highly upgraded Griffins. He's going to have, he's got Stormbolt being, not Stormbolt, what do you call that upgrade for the Griffin Riders? I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, I just forget the actual name. You'll probably be getting the Animal War training from the barracks as well, and adding a Paladin. Very good 3rd hero for the humans. Great here in this situation because the Paladin can heal the other heroes and the Griffins so effectively with Holy Light. He's also getting a workshop. I assume that will be for Gyrocopters, just to assist him against enemy Wyverns. possibly even Bat Riders, but not so much Bat Riders, given the fact that the Bat Riders will just suicide before you can take them out. It's very difficult to do that beforehand, but here comes Yang's army to the 3 o'clock, and Tod was heading there as well. I'm not sure whether Tod wants to engage Yang's army just yet, and indeed he is moving back the way he came, heading back over to the west. So a few creep camps further over to the 9 o'clock position, and he may go over there instead now that he knows that Yang has actually moved into position at the 3 o'clock to creep that camp there. Of course, Yang obviously killed the farm there, so he knows that Tod is aware of where he is on the map. So given that, he may want to change locations himself, and indeed looks like he's doing that. Yang moving through the center and moving over to the 9 o'clock, so chances are the two players may actually meet each other at the 9 o'clock regardless. So very interesting thinking going on here between the two players. Pretty standard and logical Warcraft moves though. And of course the Orcs being a lot faster have caught up, and Archmage using his staff of teleportation, staff of preservation, whatever you call that thing, to get rid of the paladin, but he knows that he's not going to outrun the Orcs, so he's using the teleportation, the scroll of the scroll of town portal is what I was after there, to get right back home to the 6. And really just waiting for some more griffins. Sending out that single flying machine, of course, because it gives invisibility detection on the ground. Now take a look at the paladin item list there. He's got 3 ivory towers. So, if I'm not mistaken, that group of human heroes is going to be heading over to 3 o'clock to set up shop there, and just slowly increase the number of expansions that Tod has. I think Tod's really comfortable playing in a very long-term game. A very sort of macro-oriented game where he can just muscle his opponent out of the map, and if he can get to level 6 with this Archmage, mass teleport is really going to win it for him. He's at level 4, so not too far off. If he can creep to level 5 and then just have miniature engagements with the enemy until he gets level 6, that should work. You notice a lot of militia returning there. I think Tod had actually sent out a whole bunch of militia just in case he engaged with the Orcs and sent them back, realizing that he wasn't going to have a full-scale invasion. Unfortunately for Tod, Yang has shown up here at the 3, and Tod's only put 1 tower down, so it's not so bad. Potentially he could be using those towers to scout the Orc Blade Master if he gets an Arcane Sanctuary and upgrades the tower detection ability. But he hasn't even got an Arcane Sanctuary, so I don't think that's planned. That's his plan. Tod moving into high upkeep now with about 1,700 gold in the bank, about 900 lumber, 93 supply. So he's getting very serious about long-term, and I think he's got enough griffins just about to start engaging the Orcs. Looks like Yang is just getting rid of these scouting farms. It's about time he did something about them. It doesn't really hurt to have a unit out there to start killing those farms while your main army is not really in the area. Just annoys the human a bit, forces them to keep rebuilding their farms. Not too big a deal though. And man, there seems to be no end to these griffins. Tod is now at maximum supply, 100 out of 100. And you'd think that this would be about the time where he can deal with his opponent. His griffins are pretty well upgraded. Plus 2 damage, plus 2 armor. Well, that's the level of his upgrades rather. It's not the actual damage that has been increased. But once he gets to 3-3, that's when you can definitely take a lot of flack from, what do you call them, Bat Riders, as well as any kind of ground troops, and I think he'll do quite well there. My only worry is that Yang has a lot of witch doctors, and it's a shame that Tod doesn't really have any priests to add holy fire and dispel. I mean, these Warcraft 3 players know a lot better than I do about the reasoning behind that. But the thing is, if he had a lot of priests, he could use inner fire on the griffins, making them even more resistant to stuff like anti-air and Bat Riders, and he can use the dispels to actually cleanse the battlefield of all those wards, which could be a really good idea. Tod's cleaned up the 3 o'clock. He's now going for Tod's cleaned up the 8:30 position. He's now going for the 9:30, and just trying to get to level 5 with his Archmage. Very important. Then hopefully he's a little bit closer to getting mass teleport. All he needs to do is just have a few fights. That the plan really, if I was playing human here, would be get my Archmage to level 5. Then have a few fights with the Orcs, and never just take the fight to the end. I'd always teleport out halfway through after I'd sniped a few Orc units, and keep doing that until I get to level 6. And that's when I start to abuse mass teleport. Building farms everywhere, having peasants in Zeppelins, and doing it that way. Now we've got Got a scroll of experience, a tome of experience here, very nice item, as well as an ancient Django of endurance. Not so good for the orcs. If Tod had picked that up, he would have kept it, but because that